Good afternoon, Grace. It's so nice to see you here, and thank you so much for agreeing to be on this interview with me today.
Thank you, Sethuki. Also, it's a big pleasure to be here. And yes, I'm very thankful to be here.
Can you introduce yourself, describe yourself to the audience before we get started?
Hi, everyone. My name is Grace, aka Diri Charlotte is my memoir name. And then I'm a former student of CISM, but this year I moved to a new school called IIP.
And I used to be friends with her at school.
Yes, aka best friends.
Yeah. So let's get this interview started with what do you fear the most?
My worst fear is losing a loved one, like for example, a family member, my dog, because he literally means the world to me, or one of my human best friends.
Aww.
And but the other personal phobias that I have are thalassophobia, which is a kind of a fear of open waters like the ocean or the sea. And I also have megalophobia, which is a phobia of big stuff, like big statues and stuff. And the
I'm scared.
last phobia that I have is called navis phobia, which is a fear of ships.
Those are some cool phobias because honestly, I'm only
Cool, what the heck?
no,
Cool phobias? Never heard of cool phobias.
I'm scared of geckos. So like, at least it's more interesting.
Oh, geckos. I hate geckos, but I'm not scared of them. I just hate
Yeah,
them. They're disgusting.
same. So moving on, what are your strengths and weaknesses?
My strengths are that I'm a very creative person and I'm
Definitely.
becoming more and more confident day by day.
Mhm.
And my weakness is that I suck at making decisions and I'm socially awkward even though I'm a Libra. Sad.
That's like I cannot make decisions. I need someone to help me. So it's very relatable. So what kind of things or people inspire you?
I look up to influencers or celebrities like Taylor Swift, Sniper Wolf, Mr. Beast, and CHC. So the reason why I look up to Sniper Wolf is that because she's one of the best content creators of all time,
Definitely.
and why I look up to Mr. Beast and ZAC are because they're both ineffable content creators on YouTube. I love ZHC's art and they are both very giving people.
They're
And then,
mind-blowingly creative, like so creative.
yep, yep. And why I look up to Taylor Swift is because, in my opinion, she's the best singer, and I've been listening to her
Definitely.
since I was 4.
She has such a perfect personality, you know? It's so
Yeah.
lovable.
Wait,
Um,
I have another point.
yes.
But those are like famous people and role models that I look up to. But personally, normal people that I look up to are my mom, my grandpa, and my uncle because they can literally do anything and they're insanely intelligent people.
Yeah, they're like so strong and so confident. It's like you just want to be like
Mm-hmm.
them.
Yep.
So, moving on, describe a time when you had to deliver a bad news. How did it go?
Unfortunately, I've never delivered any bad news before. But if I have to one day, I'd be really sad or maybe even angry because bad news aren't good. They're bad, real bad.
Definitely. It's just heartbreaking to be the one to deliver it.
Yeah.
So, moving on, what do you do when someone comes to you with a problem?
So first, I try to ask them what is going on, and then I comfort them if they're sad or depressed. Then I try to motivate them. Then the last step I do is I give them solutions to their problems, of course.
That is so helpful and such a detailed answer. So,
Thank you.
next question. Tell me about the last time you got hungry and how did you deal with the anger you got?
The last time I got really hungry was several years ago. It was many years ago. I was still a small little girl,
Aw,
and I was on a trip. And then that evening, we were gonna eat dinner because it was quite late. It was already like 6 or 7 p.m. in the evening. So we went to this really fancy restaurant, and I ordered Chinese fried rice because that was literally my favorite food back then.
definitely.
So the point where I got really hungry, like extra hungry, was when it took hours, like 2 or 3 hours, for the dish to be set on our plate. So I don't know why I do that, but I literally went under the table and then hid under it. I don't know why I did that.
That's such a calm yet childish way to express your hunger, you know? That's so.
Yeah, true.
Okay, next question. In your professional career, so as a student, do you think empathy or sympathy should be, and how should it be used?
So, as a student, empathy or sympathy is very important because it's very relatable nowadays, especially in the 21st century, because most of us are either sad or depressed or stressed like anytime. So, yes, if they came to me like with problems, I would try to solve it and then have empathy and sympathy on them. But if they go too far and if they're bothering me all the time, I would basically be angry and furious. I
I
would not
mean,
help them.
like that's fair because everybody has their own limits when it comes to dealing their temper. And
True.
if they
I
just go
agree.
overboard, you're like, that's it, you snap.
Yep. That's it. You're done. You're done. You're done.
Definitely. So, how do you comfort someone who is going through a rough path? I think you already mentioned this, but could you like explain it in a bit more detail?
So, yes, I could explain it in more details. So first, I motivate them by mostly saying, not everything, or basically nobody is perfect. Not even the richest person in the entire universe is perfect.
That's so
Einstein, Newton, and Hawking's were and are still some of the most intelligent human beings to ever exist, but they aren't perfect. And that's because life is life and it sucks most of the time.
that's so true because sometimes, especially teens like our age, we try to set up
Yes.
impossible standards and then we just get
Yeah.
depressed and like useless, I guess, when we don't need.
Social media is like eating up our brain
Definitely. It's just
24/7.
so misleading, you know? Very misleading.
Yeah,
So, do you consider yourself empathetic or sympathetic?
I consider myself as an empathetic person.
How? Like if you had to describe how, like, so empathy is all about relating to somebody else's problem and putting yourself in their shoes, right? So how would you do that? How would you relate to someone else's problems?
So basically, as a Gen Z student in the 21st century, is really relatable to, you know, being bullied in at school. So yes, it's very relatable if someone comes to you because they're bullied and they're having a really hard time.
That is so true, but sadly it never changes.
Yeah, it'll never change. I think it'll just get worse, even though this is not a good thing to say, you know?
It's just that no matter how many like positive minded people there are in this world, the bad guys literally have the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Yep.
theory. So, Grace, what has been your proudest professional achievement? And I'm pretty sure you've got tons of them.
Thank you for mentioning that. But the proudest professional achievement of my life was so far, I won the first ever debate competition at my previous school, and I beat you.
I know you beat me, but I'm so happy for you because you guys definitely deserve to win. I mean, your points
Oh,
were literally
thank
like
you.
we couldn't argue against them. They were too strong. So, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem. So, next question. When did you last embarrass yourself?
Oh God, this is a hard question. So yes, I've embarrassed myself for infinite amount of times in my lifetime. Never stops every single day. But I have two really embarrassing moments. One is that when I ran around the school playground with sunglasses on because I
Oh my
thought it was very cool, and everybody was staring at me like as if I was a ghost. And that was when I was in lower KG. So yes.
I mean, I
But the
wouldn't blame you.
most,
You still
yeah, embarrassing yourself is very relatable. But the most embarrassing moment recently was like a month ago. So I was in Zoom class and I was listening to music and singing along to that song like I do to every single song on the planet. And then when the teacher asked me a question, I unmute myself and then I forgot to mute myself after I answered. Then I kept on singing and everybody heard that.
that have been. I wish I was there. Like I want to hear you sing. Could you sing a bit?
No, I don't want to sing right now.
Okay, I won't pressure you, but honestly, that must have been hilarious. And I don't know anything more embarrassing than that. Literally.
The class was dead silence, and then we broke into laughter.
That's hilarious.
But
Literally.
thank God that was a good song. Thank God.
Yeah, obviously you have a amazing voice, so you don't need to really worry. So, next question is describe a
Thank
time
you.
when you had a positive impact on someone.
Um, Most people admire me for my PowerPoint presentations, and now there's a new friend of mine who envies me and then is obsessed with me for my confidence in class because I literally, participate in every single group work, and then I participate in class, I answer questions,
You do
and
like
I
nonstop
I'm
if
a
you
very
start.
talkative person.
You're literally amazing. You have like this outbound creativity that no one can like even reach to.
Oh, don't say that. You are also very creative, I
No,
swear.
like the magical thing about our friendship is that no matter like even though the two of us were like in the top of the class, we never really competed against each
Yep.
other.
Mhm.
We weren't envying
Mhm.
each other, so that was magical. It's hard to find people
Yep.
like that. So the next question, have you ever had a negative impact on someone?
Sadly, yes. But this is when I was young. I think about 11 years old or so.
Oh.
But one day, my friend, she's my best friend now. What an irony. So she came and asked me, it was right before in science quiz, hey, do you know the plant life cycle or the process, like the exact procedure? And I was like, yes, even though I didn't
Ooh.
learn a single thing that day. And I actually told her the wrong procedure for the whole life cycle. And then we both ended up getting D's for that quiz.
Ooh, bad influence. I'm kidding. You guys are literally friendship goals.
Yes.
So, last question to wind up this interview. What is one thing you wish others knew about you, but they don't?
Oh God. I have two. I have two. But the
Okay.
first thing is that I wish people knew that I hate K-pop because literally when someone comes to me, the first thing he or her always asks is,
Do
"Hey, do you
you
like
like
K-pop?
that?
Do you like K-pop?" And I'm like, um, I'm always stuttering when they ask that question because I don't know how to answer that question in a positive way that won't hurt their feelings.
I know,
You know
right?
what
Like,
I mean? Yeah.
yeah, it's like hats off to you because that is so relatable if you don't like K-pop and you just don't want to hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
So, what is the second thing?
Second thing that I wish people knew about me is that I was bullied left to right when I was young. And literally every single person that I've met until today is like, "Oh my god, her life is so perfect. I want it ASAP."
Like, I'm not gonna
And I'm
lie,
like, "No.
but I
No girl, no."
also I also thought of you as like the perfect kind of girl. So that was like wrong. And then when I found out about you being bullied, that really hurt me because somebody so kind and so confident as you shouldn't go through all that. It's really sad.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. So, Grace, that has brought us to the end of this interview. Thank you so very much for being here and being my interviewee. So, thank you.
It's also such a pleasure to be here, and thanks for having me as a guest for
No
your show.
problem.